time to move on. Jamie's got new dreams he's building upon, and I'm still hurting. Jamie arrived at the end of the line. Jamie's convinced that the problems are mine. Jamie's probably feeling just fine, and I'm still hurting. What about lies, Jamie? What about things that you swore to be true? What about you, Jamie? What about you? Jamie, sure something wonderful died. Jamie decides it's his right to decide. Jamie's got secrets he doesn't confide, and I'm still hurting. Go and hide and run away, run away, run and find something better. Go and hide the sun away, run away, like it's simple, like it's right. Give me a day, Jamie, bring back the lights, hang them back on the wall. Maybe I'd see how you can be so certain that we had no chance at all. Jamie is over, and where can I turn? Covered in scars I did nothing to earn. Maybe there's somewhere a lesson to learn, but that wouldn't change the fact. No, that wouldn't speed the time. 'Cause once the foundation's cracked, and I'm still hurting. Thanks for watching my video. That was Still Hurting from The Last 5 Years by the composer Jason Robert Brown. This is a great show, and it's very unconventional, and I'll try to, spoiler alert, this show starts, it only has 2 characters, Kathy and Jamie, and the 2 characters are on divergent time paths. Kathy starts at the end, and she goes backwards in time as her story progresses from her perspective. And then Jamie starts at the beginning, and as the story progresses, it's a normal timeline. He ends up at the end of their relationship. So this first song is sung by Kathy at the end of their relationship. They're getting a divorce, and it's the first song of the show. So you hear about, you know, at the very beginning of the show, it's not going to end well. When I talk about the song, I'm going to use the word verse and bridge. And it's not necessarily like that. It's not a normal song form where you have verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, bridge, chorus, and then that's the end. That's your normal song form. This isn't like that. This has several short verse-like things, but I wouldn't necessarily call them a verse. And then there's a transition. And it's not really the same each time, so I can't really call it a refrain, because refrain literally means you go back and you do the same thing again. But I'm gonna refer to these as verses and bridges. Hopefully that makes sense. So in the first verse, the main feeling that she's getting is depressed and betrayed, and so it's all very quiet, and it's I pick a few words out of the texture of the lyrics that really bring out the impact of what is implied with the lyrics. So, Jamie is over and Jamie is gone. Jamie's decided it's time to move on. Jamie has new dreams he's building upon. And I'm still hurting. All of those words I've emphasized because they are the most important words in the text. Either I emphasize them by making them louder, or by separating them with a little bit of space on either side, or just pronouncing them a little more clearly, but I emphasize them somehow. Then the second verse, mini verse, she's getting mad. She's still depressed, but she's starting to get angry, and she's starting to think about blame. So it's getting a little louder, and the words Jamie arrived at the end of the line. He's already there. He gave up. I wasn't done giving up, but he gave up. Jamie's convinced that the problems are mine. Spoiler alert, the problems are not hers, but they are not his either. They are both very much to blame for the failure of their relationship. Jamie is probably doing just fine. He's fine. But I'm still hurting. And then she's getting madder. It's growing a little bit. She's getting louder. What about lies, Jamie? What about things that you swore to be true? And then back off, volume-wise. What about you, Jamie? And that is a little scornful. What about you, Jamie? What about you? And then it's back. Again, that's the first bridge. Goes to the third mini verse. And he hurt her. He hurt her. She's hurting because he's the one who did it. Jamie is sure something wonderful died. Jamie decides it's his right to decide. Kathy doesn't get a choice. But he's got secrets that he hasn't confided. And it's his secrets that have hurt her. She's still hurting. So now she's getting mad again because she's thinking about the things that he did to her. And he gave up, but she wasn't done. So she yells, "Go and hide and run away, and find something better." And then even more yelling, even louder. And I realized that I made a mistake in the lyrics here. I said go and hide the sun away. It should be go and ride the sun away. Run away like it's simple. Backing off at this point, getting a little softer, like it's right, but it's not right. And I'm staying in character. I'm thinking about everything I've saying up to this part, and I'm thinking about what I'm getting ready to sing and how that's going to make me feel. And so the word there is desperation, pleading. She's out of control here. Her emotions are completely off the walls because he's hurt her so much. But she still loves him, and she just wants him back. Bring back the lies, hang them back on the wall, so maybe she can see why he gave up when she was not ready to give up. But he thought they had no chance, so he's gone. So it brings back quite a bit. Take the volume down all the way to a piano. She is lonely and she is lost. Jamie is over and where can I turn? Covered with scars I did nothing to earn. Not true. We've discussed this already, but let's not rehash that. Maybe there's somewhere a lesson to learn, but that wouldn't change anything. It wouldn't speed up time. I'm still going to be hurting at the end of the day. It's really depressing. You leave this show not knowing whether or not Kathy was really able to rebound and bounce back from it. We hope so, but no, we'll never know, because there was not a last 5 years too. Next 5 years. Maybe that could be the sequel. The next 5 years. But we don't get that. This song is a bear. It's very technically difficult. It's very rangy, and the dynamics are all over the place, and the breathing has to be very specific. If you pay attention when I'm singing, you'll see that I start taking a breath very early, and it's low and deep and slow to prepare myself for those long phrases and sustained notes and growing dynamics, because otherwise it's going to be out of tune. I'm going to run out of breath, which I actually did run out of breath once or twice, but I kind of covered it, and hopefully you didn't notice. And it's really funny because if you look at the music here, you can see I write all kinds of stuff in there. I'm writing in counts, I'm writing in dynamics, I'm writing in my words. The very first note is a G. And Jamie's over. And that is in the head voice. So, brief explanation of head voice versus chest voice. For women specifically, men it's slightly different. Your chest voice is your lower notes. If you put your hand on your chest when you're singing lower notes, la la la, you literally feel the vibrations on your hand that your voice is making through your chest resonating chamber. And the higher voices, you don't feel them in your chest. They're in your head. And it takes a lot of time and a lot of focused study to learn how to feel the vibrations in your head. Some people call it in the mask. And so it comes in, Jamie's over. And that's squarely in the head voice. But then it goes down, and Jamie is gone. And I could switch down into my chest voice there a little bit. It would sound like this. Jamie is over and Jamie is gone. But it goes flat because it's too heavy. At the very beginning of this song, you've got to keep that in your head voice almost the entire time, even though it gets a little bit low, because otherwise it's going to be hard to bring the pitch up to where it's supposed to be. And then when it gets higher, what about lies, Jamie? There it could be, what about lies, Jamie? What about things? And I could make it completely up into the head voice, full, legit bel canto singing, but it's not the right style. So I've got to do what's called kind of a belt or a mix there. So it's in the head voice, but it's, what about lies? That's my head voice. What about lies? And that's my belt. I've widened the vowel shape, and I kind of, I get louder. It's very difficult to do in a technically accurate way without harming your vocal cords. I've addressed this in a previous video. And on this song, I made the choice to really go too far with it. I pushed my voice because it was on the, give me a day, Jamie. She's out of control. So I let my voice get out of control, and it went a little flat, but I was okay with it because the emotions were there, that it was appropriate. I didn't want it to sound very pretty. And if I sang like that every day, I would have vocal nodules again, because I've had those twice probably, maybe 3 times. They're not fun. They ruin your voice, and the more you get them, the more damage you do to your voice. So I make a choice to do that in that one specific place, and it's brief, and then I'm back to technical accuracy. If I did that if I sang like that every day, like if I were, for instance, if I were in this show on Broadway and I were singing this song every night, I would probably not choose to let it go completely crazy like that, because my voice would die after a few weeks of the show and I would lose my job. But that's the choice I made for this particular video. So if you choose to tackle this song, then you've got to be fully aware of the technical difficulties in it, the dynamics and the counting and the breaths and the vocal mechanism, how to do the head voice and everything. And it's really very difficult to do, which is why I haven't done it yet, because I've been mulling it over. I've been living with this song for a long time. But if this helps in your rendition of the song, then I'm happy and I've done my job. So thanks again for watching. If you like my ramblings and my singing, please like, share, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. It would really help me out and I would really appreciate it. Thank you.